Hey, you beautiful souls. Today we're going to talk about the number one thing that I have witnessed, certainly in my own life, but within many people that I've worked with as well, that stand in the way of magnetizing to you whatever it is that you're trying to manifest or bringing about the bright, beautiful life that you're trying to build, which is attachment. Now, I am sure that you have heard this before. You need to detach. You need to detach from specifics. You need to detach from a person. You need to detach from details, so on and so forth. But here's one of my big problems with a lot of educational sources, whether that's books, YouTube, seminars, whatever, is they tell you this big concept of what you need to do, in this case, detach, but they don't actually tell you how to do it or the fundamentals behind it. So today, I'm going to get into some specifics of how you actually go about detaching from that person, that situation, the details, whatever it is that you need to detach your energy from, so that you can magnetize to you that bright, beautiful life that you're trying to build. To anybody who's never been here before, hi, I'm Elizabeth Blackwell, and I specialize in setting sacred space and helping others find their highest and greatest self. So let's get into these specifics about how to detach and let go. So I'm very briefly going to go over what attachment is, so that you can know why it's so important to let go and detach. When we are attached to something, we hold on to it so tightly that we, one, create resistance, and two, we skew it from whatever its natural form or existence is. The best way that I could think of to illustrate this is to think about a balloon. It is this floating, colorful representation of joy. But if we hold on to that balloon, the first thing that we do is that it's now no longer this outward floating representation, but it's in our hands. And then we hold on to it so tightly that we actually start to change what its original form and shape was. We're gripping on to it. And then sometimes we can hold on to it so tightly that we pop the balloon. And now it is no longer even available to us because we grabbed onto it so tightly that we destroyed what it originally was. Attachment fuels our fears and doubts. It limits us from an openness of alternatives or other beautiful things entering our life. Attachment to timing limits the natural process of things, and it absolutely creates resistance from things flowing to us. Attachment comes from a place of lack, which absolutely creates blockages, but the biggest issue with attachment is that when we hold on to that person, that thing, that situation so tightly, then we skew what its original form was. We don't see it as it truly is, and a lot of times we don't allow it to be what it truly is. So then what is detachment? It is not an indifference or a lack of caring or love. Detachment is about letting go of control so that you can approach it with balance and openness, allowing whatever that thing is that you're trying to bring towards you to be in its original form. So then how do you actually detach yourself from this control of the specifics or timing or whatever? You need to look at it from a holistic approach. It is physical, it is mental, and it is spiritual. So let's go through each of those so that you can actually know how to let go. If you've stuck with me this far, please think about subscribing. It's getting harder and harder for small channels to actually get some traction and connect with our audiences. And if this video is serving you, think about hitting the like button. It really does help out small channels like this. So let's start off with the physical. In this, you don't do anything where you are trying to control either a person or an outcome of a situation. So let's use a person as an example here. I'm not saying that you can never be in contact with that person, that you can't call or text. But if you do reach out, you can't reach out with the intention of getting anything specifically out of that person, that you're not trying to control the situation at all. So you can't ever text somebody with the idea that they have to text you back, because now you're trying to control the situation. And the same can be applied to whether this is money or any other thing that you're trying to bring about to you. You don't do anything where you're trying to control the specifics around it. So what do you do instead? You do anything that puts back into you, feeds your physical self. Have actions or take up your time with things that are of benefit to you, whether that is creating something, working on healing, whatever. But instead of doing things that attach you to them, where you're trying to control, you physically fill up yourself with things that are of benefit to you. So then how do you emotionally detach? There's a couple of things that I suggest here. The first one is practice mindfulness. Get out of hanging out in the past or being anxious about the future, but be in the present moment. And when you're in the present moment, look to find joy or positivity in it. Look for anything that you can be grateful for around you in the exact moment or in the now. And again, don't hang on to the past or be anxious about the future, but be present. And then the second thing that I recommend for emotional detachment is, it's technically called cognitive reframing, but it is reframing your thoughts around things. You have to let go of that "I'll be happy when," because first off, there is no thing or person that will ever truly make you happy. You're using it to fill something else in yourself, which also lets me know that you have healing to work on. But in order to reframe your thoughts, instead of "I need this person to be happy," or "I need this thing to be happy," you want to change that to "I have a deep appreciation or offer love to this person or thing, but I can still find true joy and balance within myself." It's reframing those thoughts to putting it that they are, or it is, responsible for whatever it is that you need. An understanding that you have everything within you already. And then the last area is spiritual detachment. This is, you have to have then the understanding that we create connections with people and things that are intangible to us. And these are strengthened by our thoughts, our words, and our behaviors. So in order to create spiritual detachment, you really need to work on clearing yourself. And there's many ways to do that, whether it is energy work, salt baths, all sorts of things, but to help energetically cleanse you and then healing yourself. And this I could go on for hours about, but this could be in the form of meditating, journaling, working in other communities, all sorts of things. But you need to have an understanding that you have a spiritual attachment to someone or something, and that you need to work on breaking that. Now, I want to follow up there. That just because you break a spiritual attachment does not mean that person or thing is going to leave your life. You are breaking the unhealthy or the controlling side of this. That anything that is meant to be in your life will always make its way back to you. So you just need to work on clearing and healing yourself in any way possible. I am going to link some other videos that will help you with that more spiritual healing side and things that I have found of benefit. Again, if you've resonated here, please consider subscribing, because I am all about giving practical and tangible ways for you to find your highest and greatest self. And again, hit that like button. It really does help out small channels and helps more people to find this content. So with that, I will say that I am sending you all so much light and love, and I hope you all stay well, my friends.